Let's get ready to rumble! What a performance that was!
Well, great viewers out there. It's time for Sportsville. My name is George Allo, and we're set to roll again. And we're giving you something bigger and better. Trust us, in Sportsville, we'll get improving week in, week out. And it's a loaded package. I must tell you, we are continuing our countdown to the big one against Ghana. To Qatar, we must be by His grace. We'll take a look at all that on the show today. If you need the George, Edinburgh coach has been reacting. We hope we'll get him online all the way from about to speak to us. Samson Siasia has made his comment about that team too. And the big worry, the area of goalkeeping, that was our own doing during the Nations Cup in Cameroon. I must tell you, we'll take a look at all that. And don't forget that things are happening in other sports, despite the fact that the war in Ukraine is making people be on edge. But you can see that it's already taking its toll on Chelsea, one club that Nigeria supports so much. Like I told you, it's a loaded package. My colleagues are in-house. Tony Bani is very much in the studio, and Matthew Okugbe is here in a very humongous manner. After this break, we'll come back, we'll begin to fire our cylinder. Don't go away. It is Sportsville. All right, welcome back. If you just joined us in Sportsville, let me now introduce my colleagues. Let me say thank you to my producer, Tayo Ogunseye, for those shots of the week. You saw Edo Queens there celebrating in style when they beat Nigeria Tales by 3-0 in the ongoing Nigerian Women Professional League. On that note, let me welcome Tony Ubani. Tony, welcome to Sportsville.
Thank you so much, George. And
Flying Edo Queens.
Yes, Flying Edo Queens. George, the Edo Queens are doing well, and indeed, Edo State is equally doing almost everything, to make sure that they're back on the track, and I think they're doing absolutely well. Very importantly is that, as that, heavyweight match approaches swiftly,
yes,
we're on it, and indeed, I think we'll just dissect it here, and of course, break it down for people to know and to realize that it's not going to be an easy job or walk in the park for Nigeria.
Well, it won't be an easy one against arch rivals Ghana. Be sure of that. It's going to be a very tough one. But I know that we'll definitely qualify for Qatar. And it's good that the match is coming up at a time that Tony Ubani is praying very hard. This is the season of Lent, and he is beginning to hand over himself to God. On that godly note, let me welcome Matthew Okugbe to the show. Matthew, welcome to Sportsville.
Yes, it feels good to be back in the studio, George. So much to savor as far as the world of sports is concerned. We are celebrating here. It is the season of Lent, and we hope the Eagles would also have that at the back of their minds once they start hitting camp in Abuja ahead of that all-important fixture in Cape Coast. But same can be said about a particular club called Chelsea in England. Not a palatable moment for them with the happenings at this point in time. Hopefully, we'll get to that point at some point in the show and also share our thoughts.
All right, Chelsea may not be having it easy at the moment, but they beat Norwich 3-1, and it didn't show in any way that Chelsea is not struggled in any way. But let's talk about Edo Queens. Why wouldn't they win when they are flying, Matthew?
Yes, I feel
The only flying female team in the country.
Yes, I feel for Edo Queens, one side that seems to be condemned to do well as at this point in time. If you look at the support they've gotten from the state government, especially the sport-loving Deputy Governor Philip Shaibu, you want to say that this is one side that have been given the desired support to go and excel. I saw them in that game. I feel this is one side that seems to have improved over time under the tutelage of their gaffer, Matthew Wemimo. Happens to be my namesake. I spoke to her after that game and she said they want to take it a game at a time, that they're in that crucial stage of the season and they want to see how much consistency they would be able to keep. That their target is not just to make the mark this season, but to see if Edo Queens would be able to make the continent in the second edition of the CAF Women's Champions League.
All right, what is happening to Edo Queens clearly show you that na money they play football, like they say in local palace. Once you have the money, and you definitely will get the results. I say congratulations to Edo Queens the way they are going, and Right Honorable Philip Shaibu, the Deputy Governor of Edo State, they are doing very well to motivate this team. All right, away from that, let's talk about the big one, talk about the Super Eagles and the battle against arch rivals Ghana. That match, the first leg will be coming up in Cape Coast. We are just about 12 days to the big clash, and both teams are preparing very hard. And our own Super Eagles, they are making sure that we dot all the I's and cross all the T's. And one man that is not, however, happy with the way the list released by Eguavo is Samson Siasia, and he has made his position clear. You can see my producer is giving you Samson Siasia's comment there. He's saying that for me, it is not the right decision to bring new players. You are better off with the ones you already know. Well, Tony, I don't know. Do you agree with Samson Siasia that we should have remained with the players that we took to the Nations Cup?
No, absolutely. 100% I agree with Samson Siasia. Indeed, at a time like this, George, it's not time for us to start, trying out new things, as it were. I think that it would have been better for the coach to stick with those he already knows, to go and qualify. The important thing is picking these tickets against a Ghana, very stubborn Black Stars of Ghana. And I think after that, once the ticket is won, and of course the battle is, won and lost, now you cannot think about so many other departments and then consolidate and think of the World Cup and bring in some other top players who are doing absolutely well in their clubs. But then beginning to bringing in new players to tinker, people that you do not know, that perhaps that have not even gotten to know so much about their teammates, I think it's a very wrong time for any trial and error system, George.
Okay, trial and error. Well, one area the coach has not made any changes is in the area of goalkeeping. 3 goalkeepers that were invited: Francis Uzoho, Daniel Akpeyi, and Maduka Okoye. This was the same goalkeepers that Genotroa used, and these are the goalkeepers that will be on duty against Ghana. Matthew, if you look at it, Maduka Okoye has been the first choice under Genotroa. He was the first choice under Eguavo, but so many people believe there should be changes. Francis Uzoho, and then Daniel Akpeyi and Maduka Okoye. Are you comfortable with these 3 goalkeepers?
Yes, if you ask me, I think these are the 3 goalkeepers who really have cut their teeth, especially playing for top clubs in quotes. Maduka playing in Holland, and we also have Uzoho playing in Cyprus, and also Akpeyi playing in South Africa for Kaizer Chiefs. So it tells you that these are goalkeepers who really would be able to hold their own when it comes to the national team. But one area I think the coach and the handlers of the team should be flexible enough is on who starts on match day. So much confidence has been imposed on a particular Maduka Okoye. Yes. And I feel at the AFCON, that would have been an opportunity for us to begin to look at what an Uzoho and by extension an Akpeyi might be able to bring to the plate. We lost because our goalkeeper wasn't able to do the needful. The only time he was called upon in the entire tournament. We saw an Uzoho in our last game, in our last group game, and it was outstanding. Uzoho for me commands plenty of confidence when he's within the stick compared to an Okoye. But if you look at the form of Okoye after the AFCON, he has been stellar for his club side. The last game he played, he was the man of the match. And for a goalkeeper of this nature, you still want to give him a look in. But I think the handler should be flexible enough and begin to look at other goalkeepers and what they can really bring to the plate. But as at this point in time, I think these are the best three we have in the country, and they should be supported.
Okay, the three we have in the country, the three best we have in the country. CAF has named a Moroccan referee. Talk about Radwan Jiyed as the central referee in that game. They have jettisoned the idea of possibly going for referees from outside the shores of the continent. So Moroccan will be in charge in the first leg out there in Cape Coast, and we just hope that the Eagles will get it right in that first leg, because the result of that match will, to a large extent, determine what will happen in Abuja after 4 days. Well, my producer is telling me now that we're able to link up with Finidi George, the head coach of Enyimba International Alpha. Finidi has been having it tough out there in Enyimba, but we hope that Eagles will not have it tough when we face Ghana. He shares his thoughts with us from Aba.
Going by the list I'm seeing now, it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad, you know. The standby players, I don't know why the standby players, you know, in case something happens, I don't know. The invited players are good enough to play against Ghana and see how they can get the best result in Ghana, and they round it up in Nigeria, you know. So it's not a bad list. It's not a bad list. I think the coaches know what they want to do. They know what formation they want to play, and then they've invited the players that are ready to go. A table has been included. Yes, inclusion also defensively. It can give us something. So I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad at all. So we'll just see. You know, result matters a lot, and if they can get the result in Ghana and qualify, definitely in Nigeria, there will be no talk about who is being invited, who is not. So the coaches know what they are doing, and let's all support them and pray that we have the result that we all desire.
Thank you so very much, Finidi George. Thanks for sharing your thoughts with us on the show today. Gentlemen, you heard Finidi there saying that he is comfortable with the list that has been rolled out by Guavo, that all they need now is the support of everybody.
I think Guavo just led them to the Nations Cup, and of course we saw, you know, the impetus of the Super Eagles, the fresh air Guavo just gave to them. But I think now, George, that we are also looking at departments. And I think one department that is so worrisome to Nigerians, you know, remains the goalkeeping position. And it's so worrisome to me because, George, when you look at the Super Eagles, even before now, you know that goalkeeping has always been the best, you know, department of the Super Eagles. And Nigeria absolutely produced so many, you know, outstanding goalkeepers.
You can name them Emmanuel Okala.
Yes, so the Okala brothers. You know,
Best Ogedegbe, Vincent Iyama, Peter Rufai, Ikesho Rumu will have a very good goalkeeper.
I don't think that we should, you know, be lacking in that position. And what it says is that so many people are not doing.
So if you stick at your neck, these three goalkeepers, who will you go for anytime, any day?
Judge, I'll still stick with Maduka Okoye.
You'll stick with Maduka Okoye?
I'll still stick with Maduka Okoye because if you look at it, Akpe has not really been doing anything in his club. He has not really been performing. And the Maduka Okoye, for the fact that he has, you know, been even in his club, he has been
doing very well.
You know, coming and playing regularly.
Okay.
George, I think the devil you know is better than the one you don't know.
Okay. Matthew, you heard Finidi George there saying that he is satisfied with the 32-man squad of Guavo. Do you agree with him?
To some extent, I think I want to toe his line. If you look at the players who were invited, these are players who 99% of these players were at the last AFCON. So it tells you that there seems to be a synergy going forward. Not everyone invited will get to play at the end of the day, but some funny names that started trying to creep into the list, the likes of Ogenye Onazi. I'm not too comfortable with that. Yes, he's on the reserve list, but in the last interview granted by the coach, Austin Eguavon, there's a possibility that he might...
Yeah, but he's playing in Saudi Arabia.
He's playing in Saudi Arabia, but I think as at this point in time, we should be looking at areas where we seems to be lagging behind and bringing players who will be able to add solidity to it. But at this point in time, we have a midfield that has been more like our strongest point with the likes of Aribo, not to forget that Ndidi is still very much in the mix. and also what's his name? Etebo is back in the team. So what role is Ogenye Onazi expected to come play? Is it time for him to come to the national team?
How about the experience?
I don't think so. Let's not begin to look at it from this perspective. I think we have enough experience in the team already. And Odion Igalo is back. We still have a Sadiq Umar. Yes.
So if Odion Igalo and Co could be back, why not Onazi?
I don't feel Onazi.
And if Ahmed Musa is still in the team?
Let's not begin to use this to create some level of controversy around the team, because it became highly questionable when certain names begin to crop into the name of a manager. We've supported Iguavon wholeheartedly at the AFCON and after the AFCON. He should know that the same momentum, the same zest, the same zeal at which we supported him, if anything goes wrong, Nigerians would also call for his head.
George, I think, there is a proverb that where a child is always crying and pointing, if the father is not there, the mother is there. And somehow I support Matthew. I think that Nigerians have really been outspoken about the list. And listening to Iguavoy, make excuses, trying to, wash his hands of the invitation, showing the fact that perhaps he could be under immense pressure in inviting some players. George, that's exactly where, it got me, shivering. And of course, crying for our dear team. As at this time, if Augustine Iguavoy is saying that there is pressure, the mounted pressure for him to invite some players, George, then...
did he really say so? He was
absolutely.
He was in Sports Shark.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. He gave that scenario that, some players, were not his making. Some of the players that were invited. And then I think, George, there's fire on the mountain. If a coach could just come out. And that's exactly why and what we have always been crying about, George. When it comes to, Nigerians handling the national team, then you know that they can easily bend towards pressures and then begin to satisfy some people at the high places.
Well, like Sani Toro, the former SSG of NFF will always say, I'm not aware. All right, one thing that we need to be aware is the fact that the fans are watching too. And let's take you to the fans, and they will share their thoughts with us. It's a Sportsville special. Enjoy it.
My name is Christian. The guy that kept for us, that Maduka, I don't like him because you can't make a costly mistake like that and you expect us to give you the opportunity to lead us again. Walk up, not be beans now, so we don't want that again.
My name is Juan Gutangod. I will go for Maduka Okoye because the guy, last time I watched him in the Dutch League, the guy his performance is amazing. So that's why I choose him to represent Nigeria.
My name is Ige Sunday, Maduka Okoye, because the guy normally used to try. He's trying his best. I like him.
Mumkoro Clinton. I think Maduka Okoye because I think he deserves a second chance, and considering to his last match he played, what he did, so I think it should be Maduka Okoye.
My name is Abdulatif Animasha. Maduka Okoye. He used to perform very well in the club and he performed very well in other goalkeeper. So I wish to be number one goalkeeper for Nigeria.
All right, welcome back. Thanks to the fans there for sharing their thoughts with us, and I hope that optimism that they have would carry it to Ghana and get the ticket for the World Cup. All right, let's go straight to talking point now before we leave the studios. Let's tell you that things are looking up for the Nigerian Institute of Sports as they get approval for new courses. These courses have been approved by the National Board for Technical Education, NBTE. And this much was confirmed by one of the image makers of the Institute of Sports and the Sports Ministry, talking about our old friend, JJ Akonje. Tony, I think things are looking up for Nigerian Institute of Sports.
Yeah, George, it's a good one for us. And John Joshua, since, he switched position, from Abuja to NIS, he has brought a lot of, light to bear on that place. And indeed, getting permission for new courses, that will, of course, attract so many other students and indeed upgrade their knowledge, in the area of coaching.
Let's come back home and tell you that things are still looking up on a good note. Okpekpe Road Race out there in Edo State has gotten one athletics elite label. That means that things are looking up for Okpekpe Road Race, and that will be coming up in May, and we're looking forward to that. Tony is warming up to run as one of the veterans.
Judge, I must say that since the inception of Okpekpe, it was just one race that, hit the road running. Absolutely, Mike Etamagbo has really shown what he can just do. And I think Okpekpe race has brought a lot of, very good light, to Nigeria and, of course, to Nigerians. And even the world athletes that come to partake in it, they have really not been disappointed, with the organization and, of course, the dollars that go with it.
Yes, but the dollars has always gone to foreigners. None has come to us. Tony has run that place. He has not pocketed even one dime of a dollar. All right, from athletics, let's tell you that FIFA has given recognition to the board of Musa Kida. They were there in Benin to monitor the election, and FIFA said that the board that they know talk about Nigerian basketball is that of Musa Kida. Well, we just hope that the crisis in Nigerian basketball will be settled with this decision of FIBA. We cannot be going against the world body because that is the way to go. Nigerian basketball is actually suffering. All right, from basketball, let's tell you that Edo State Sports Commission, we are going back to Benin. The Sports Commission has now been, the Sports Commission board has been sworn in. Yusuf Ali heads that board. Our own Frank Ilaboya is part of it. And they've been given a mandate to ensure that Edo become the mecca of sports. Matthew?
Yes, I think it's a good one. If you look at the quality of persons and the personnel who have been saddled with this responsibility to grow sports in the state, it tells you that we are definitely in the right direction. I'm happy. The likes of Frank Laboya are in the mix. These are seasoned professional sports administrators who would be able to put their cap in the ring and ensure that the needful is done. So congratulations to them. Let's see where it takes Edo Sports from where it is at this point.
Yes, and the major challenge is to ensure that Edo performs well during the National Sports Festival in Asaba. Well, that's the show, but before we leave, let's tell you that on a very sad note and very painful one, we lost two sports persons within the week, and that's talking about Fabio Olanipeku, who was he's just celebrated his 80th birthday.
Just so sad that it's my heart bleeds, because it has been a season of deaths. Talk about Sonojego as a Fabio Olanipeku, and now Justice Christopher George. The only thing we can say is that may their soul, rest in peace and eternal light be granted unto them.
All right, on that note, let me say thank you to Matthew. Matthew, thanks for coming to Sportsville.
Yes, feels good to be back in the studio, and we hope the issues in Ukraine and Russia comes to a close as soon as possible, because sports is already getting the heat. The athletes are not being able to participate in major tournaments, clubs being sanctioned, not be able to continue in the Europa League and also the Champions League. It tells you that these things need to be nipped in the bud before it goes further.
Amen. We just pray that it will be nipped in the bud. And Tony, thank you for coming to Sportsville.
Thank you so much, George. And of course, thanks, to our viewers who are always united with us.
All right. Thanks to our viewers. Keep united with us. And let's pray that there will be world peace, because what is happening in Ukraine is not something anybody is enjoying. And you see, it's already taking its toll on sports, like Matthew rightly pointed out. Chelsea has been badly hit by it. Belarusian and Ukrainian athletes cannot participate in international sport, and all this is a fallout of the war. We just hope that it will come to an end. That's the show. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye and God bless.